Welcome to Turning Pages with Bree. So glad you are here joining me on another video, spending some of your TIME time with me. And this is going to be another bookish type vlog of 4 books this time, not 3. I know 3 seems to be my sweet spot, but I wanted to pick an extra one. And hopefully this will actually, be a good choice. Okay, so anyways, because I couldn't make my mind up on just the 3. Again, I always forget, guys, thank you anybody that is new joining me here. I appreciate you taking the time to click on my little old video, and anyone that is a subscriber, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Hopefully you're enjoying my content, and this is where you want to be, because I like chit-chatting about these books. So getting right into it, the first book up that I'm going to be reading on this vlog is Long After We Are Gone by Terah Shelton Harris. As you already know, I'm going to have it up here so you can see the book in the right direction, because it's backwards. But anyways, this is an author that I have fast grown to like. Her books, I've read 2 of them. I had this on my shelf and just hadn't picked it up, so I am now going to go ahead and read this one on this bookish vlog, and hopefully it will be just as good as the other 2 that I have been able to share with you. Been able to read. The next one is going to be A Love Letter to Whiskey by Kandi Steiner. This is, of course, a romance, but this is a book that I have been saying I wanted to read and get into and see what it's about. This is an author that I, kind of been keeping my eye on, because I actually received one of her books through about a year or 2 ago. From Goodreads, from like a giveaway, and so I still have the book and haven't read it, so I was like, you know what, let me deal with this. Let me go ahead and include one of her books. And I wanted to start here because I've had another book of hers that I was going to read, but I was like, no, I've been really wanting to start with this one. And this is part of like attacking my physical TBR, trying to get these damn books read that I actually have purchased with my own hard-earned cash. And, just spending some time not buying, but actually reading the books that I already have and committed to, because I put my coin on them. And I want to, get this physical TBR read, right? Because that's why I bought the books, to read them. So the next one I'm going to read on this vlog is going to be by Mia Sheridan. It's called Unwanted. This is the book, and I've got the second book already in the series. Have that one I've purchased, and just wanted to really check out what she's putting down. This is an author that I read one of her books about a year or so ago and really enjoyed it. I think it was Archer's Voice. And that was a good read. And so I was like, you know what? I really want to dive into this series. So we'll see what that's about. And the last one is going to be my library book that I actually picked up earlier this week. It's by Darydna Jones. It's A Bad Day for Sunshine. And so hopefully this is a good mix. I think that, like this one, I think it's a kind of love story, but a mystery as well. I don't think it's just like romance. I know this is like thriller, I think mystery type book, detective. So, and then of course, like I said, love letter, whiskey, it's going to be love. It's going to be romance. And Long After We Are Gone, of course, I think this is, Terah Shelton Harris. This is going to be deep. It's going to be probably dealing with found family and stuff like that, and maybe like a little bit of historical fiction, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what category it ends up being in. But I know it's dealing with family. So I know that much about it. It is dealing with family and some things that has happened you know, with all of them in the family, whoever it is. But anyways, I'll be sharing all that with you guys on this vlog as I am reading these 4 books, and we're gonna get the best of what I picked, right? So hopefully you will stay on here with me and follow the rest of this video so that you can enjoy what I read and what I like or didn't like about these books. Hopefully this is a good mix. We'll see. All right, so I'll be back when I have some more to share about these 4 books. Okay, so let me say this. This is an update on my reading of these books. And long after we are gone, when I first got it, maybe a year ago or so, I tried to pick this up and read it and put it down. And so I thought maybe it was me, maybe I'm not in the right mind space for it. So said, okay, let's try this again, because I really like Terah Shelton Harris as a writer. So I picked it up, and I am almost 25% in, and I'm gonna tell you, this is just not for me. I don't know. I don't know if anybody out there has read this, and did it get better, you know, as you got into it? Let me know. But I just can't give it any more of my time. It's just so many books out there that I would enjoy more than I am with this. It's like I'm fighting myself to read it. It's just not giving, right? And so I am truly DNFing this. I am going to donate this probably to a free library, or I am going to I don't know, trade it in at one of the bookstores where I can get some credit for it, because this is not my speed. This is not my type of height. It's not speaking to me. I don't know if it's the I can't even say it's just the narrator. It's the storyline. It's just not me. So this is a no for me. This is a hard DNF. And I hate that, because I really like Terah Shelton Harris, but I guess sometimes certain books just do not speak to you, and this one is not speaking to me. And I'm, like I said, 25% in, and I'm still feeling like I'm not enjoying this. It ain't worth it, because I can't keep up with the names of, you know, the people. I mean, I'm not interested really in what's going on with them. I'm just not buying into the characters or the storyline. And at that point, I think I can just safely say this is just not one I want to read. So I'm replacing that with another book called Perfectly Nice Neighbors, and I am enjoying that. It's by Kia Abdullah. It'll be up here so you can see it. I am still at the beginning, but I can tell you that I'm buying into that. I enjoy it already, because it's different, but it is you know, not romance. And I think I've seen a couple people talk about this book before, like a long time ago, so I can't even remember what they said, but I'm enjoying it so far. So I'm glad I'm replacing that other book with this one, because I really wanted to read something different, not my norm, something mystery thriller type, and this seems like it falls into that category. I have started excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. I have started A Bad Day for Sunshine, and I am probably about 15% in, and I can say it is, I don't want to say it's cozy, but it is comedic. Okay, so far, you're following the new sheriff, Sunshine, and her daughter, and you're going along with them moving back home, basically. And she's been elected as the sheriff without actually even herself running. Her parents helped her get elected, unbeknownst to her, and just told her, "Hey, you're elected as the new sheriff," which is crazy. But anyways, it's got a lot of comedic funniness going on with it. It's something different. It seems like it's a kind of cool palate cleanser type of book for you to read, and it's a series. So if I, like I said, enjoy it, then I will move on to the next one. But it is keeping me interested. Her daughter is a little different as well. She's they're, of course, in a new town, going to a new school. So we're following her as she's trying to navigate that new life that she's leading. And it's just, her and her mom. We don't have the backstory yet of what has happened with the father, if there were, what that situation was. But it's making me interested. So I am good with this and enjoying it so far. I have not started Unwanted yet, and I have not started, let's see, what was the other book? Lord Jesus, y'all know. I have not started Love Letter to Whiskey yet. So those two, hopefully I'll be coming on and sharing something with you on those two pretty soon. But I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll catch up on my next pop in to tell you what's going on with these books. So had to have a quick change. Okay, so I have officially started A Love Letter to Whiskey, okay, by Kandi Steiner. Wanted to just pop on and let you know how I'm feeling so far about the book, because I'm at the very beginning. I am 4% in, not even 5. But it's good. It's got me interested, and I'm reading the ebook. I have the physical copy, but it's a little small for my taste, so I'm reading from my Kindle. And it starts, hopefully this is not a spoiler. If you don't want to know much about it, then skip this part. But I'm not going to get into any real detail, but I'm going to tell you that we're following what's her name? B. I'll just say her name is B for right now, because that's what she likes to be called. So we're going backwards in time, of course. Always have to go back, a reverie. And we are following B and her story, her backstory as a teenager in high school. She is, they're not getting into like a lot of detail, but it's telling you about how she meets with who she's calling Whiskey, the male main character, okay? And so as we are there first initially meeting, he bumps into her, makes her fall down or whatever, and of course tries to help her or whatever to get up or whatever, but her best friend rushes over and sees that he knocked her down, and she goes off on him, right? For knocking her down, like, you didn't see her, all this jazz. And so even though she and him, B and Whiskey, meet initially first, and remember they're in high school, I think they're like seniors. So anyways, even though they meet first, he ends up dating or looking at her best friend and going for her best friend as far as he likes her. They meet, they like each other instantly and become a thing, okay? However, B is strongly interested in him. She feels a connection with him. And so she bows out and is like, okay, they're going to date, I'm not going to pursue this. But they end up kind of finding out that they have something in common. I'm not going to tell you what, but they have something in common more than they thought they had in common, because they end up meeting up a place that they both enjoy doing, hanging out and doing the same thing. They enjoy the same hobby. So anyways, that leads to them actually talking to each other a little bit more and unraveling, an interest in one another, which, like I said, B already instantly looked at him and had an interest in him, but bowed out because it was her best friend and him that hooked up. So anyways, that's where I am in the beginning of the story. It's interesting. I am picking it up more times than not at this point, and I will come back on when I have something more to share about it. Let's see, what am I reading? The other books, I'm not going to go into any details about the other books, but I have not started the fourth book yet, which is Unwanted by Mia Sheridan. I'm hopefully going to start that a little bit later, so I'm going to try to wrap these up first or get very close to the end of these, and then I'll pick that up because I don't want to have too much in my head. So anyways, I'll come back on when I have some more to share. Okay, so wanted to share with you guys how I am getting along with the book. What is it? A bad day for sunshine, I think it's called. Anyways, you know the book. It'll be up here so you can see it. Anywho, I have gotten about 75% into that book. I will say this about the book. It is not quite what I ended up expecting it to be. I thought I knew where it was going, but then it took a different turn. It does take some time. It's not one of those that like, oh, I gotta pick up and I want to read all the time, but it is interesting enough where it keeps you engaged. And so I'm kind of liking her writing style. It is not my normal read, but for a mystery thriller type book, I kind of like it. I really do. I like the way that she has her little humor in there. And she's, kind of hints of a little bit of romance, but not really. It's not a lot. It's definitely not open door or anything like that. It's very, very lighthearted. But the storyline from this particular book is very good. I will say, I'm not going to give it away, but I will tell you, if you can stick with it, it grabs you to me in the beginning with what's going on and what's happening. Then it has a little lull and you just kind of got to listen and keep it moving. It's just something that you can kind of watch. Or not watch, but you can kind of listen to as you are doing other things. And then it starts to get really deep and interesting with some of the information that comes out about the main female character, which is the mom. Well, there's two main female characters, the mom and the daughter. So the mom and the daughter, it becomes very interesting what happens with how they are adjusting to life in this town that she's originally from. And it also gives you the backstory and information about her father. I'm at the point where we are unraveling how things happened years ago to the mom and how that connection is now in forefront with what's going on in the town right now with this missing teenager that was around, I think she's maybe 16, 17. And she is, the mom is the sheriff there now. So she is on the case of trying to locate Sybil, the missing teenager. So anyways, I just wanted to share that part with you. I am definitely into the storyline. It is good. I think it's one of those books that you can say is like a palate cleanser for you to kind of read, because it's not too heavy. You know what I'm saying? It's not, too much going on to where you got to be like, oh, really thinking hard about it. And it's not that many people in there to keep up with. So, it is some different moving parts, but it's not that bad. So anyways, that is what's going on with that one. The other book, A Love Letter to Whiskey, we have now moved forward in time where they are college students. And in this segment, the main female character, she is just getting to college. And of course, her and the essentially Whiskey, the main male character in the story, he and her end up meeting up in college. Okay. He's a year older than her, so he has been there already, and she ends up being at the same college as him, unbeknownst to her or him. They end up, seeing each other. But at this point, she actually, this is years later, she has a boyfriend. And so that's where I am with that right now. I'm not that farther along in that book, probably at the 30%, I would say 25-30% in. But it is interesting, it's a love story as we walk through the different phases of life from high school to now college. And one of the main things is when they were in high school, that those two made a pact to where if they were not married by the time that they were 30, that they would marry each other. So you already know how that probably is going to go. So anyways, it is interesting. I'm enjoying it so far. The ride is good. What else? That's about it. I have not still started Mia Sheridan's Unwanted, but I'm going to be starting that soon. But I wanted to kind of finish one of these books. So it looks like I'm going to be finishing A Bad Day for Sunshine. I'm going to be finishing that pretty soon. And so then I will pick up Mia Sheridan and I'll come on and talk to you guys about what's going on with that book. Anyways, of course, I'm reading other stuff in between that is very interesting. Just in case you wanted to know, I am still in Jacquel J's Delgado family. I have just finished, actually today, just finished Capadonna 3.5. So I am now excited because I am getting to go into the sister story, Capri. And that if you have read Jacquel J, any of that, then you already know how that is going. It is a saga. If you want a series to read that is a saga, that is constant action, urban things, fiction type, situations going on, that's going to keep you engaged and wanting to know more. She is that girl. She is that author. And so this series is that one, but it is a lot of books. This is a lot of commitment. So I have broke it down to where I am not reading all of this at once. And so I'm going to pick Capri up at some point, but I don't know exactly when, but I'm excited about reading her story as well. So anyways, I will come back on when I have some more to tell you about these particular 3 books. All right. So check in again on these 3 books. All right. So A Bad Day for Sunshine. I have completed it a couple of days ago. And I can say, honestly, I think this would be a solid 3-star. It is a series. So do I want to pick up the next one? Possibly. Do I have to pick it up right away? Not. But it's cute. It's kind of a mystery, kind of suspenseful. And it's kind of also giving a little bit of comedy. Okay. So it tries to give you some laughs in there, but it's not bad. It's truly not a bad book. I'm glad I picked it up. Glad I'm getting a chance to, kind of experience different authors, just see what other, authors have to offer, if it's my type of hype or not. And so do I think that you should try it? If you are someone that, wants something a little bit different and, giving you a little bit of a mystery, but is not gory, not, anything crazy, but definitely spark some interest and try to become comedic. I think this is a good read. This is a good choice. I definitely think I will be reading the second one to give it another shot, to give her another shot to see if I really do like her writing. So I'm glad I picked this up. I am. On to the next, which is a love letter to whiskey, which we all know. If you don't know, whiskey is her referring to the guy in the love interest in the book, and her being the main female character, Brex, B, we'll just call her B because that's what she prefers to be called. We are continuing on through her life, walking through different, periods of her life. At this point, we're in the book, I am not quite halfway through, but about 35%. And we are at the point where she is just got out of kind of finished college, and she runs into him again. Okay. She had something tragic happen prior to this particular setting that kind of threw things off balance, where she was in college at that point, and she was going to make a decision basically of really pursuing something with the main male character in here, and something happens and it throws a monkey wrench in her whole life. And so because of that, she doesn't pursue the relationship. She just keeps them in a friend zone type of situation, or, you know, keeps him at bay as a friend. And so, because, you know, I don't want to give away the book, but I am letting kind of, you know, the bits and pieces of what is happening. So, like I said, at this point, she's just went into her life, starting her life as a young adult out of college. I'm trying to think if she goes to grad school. I think she may be in grad school or something, but don't quote me on that. But anyways, it is interesting. I'm enjoying it. I'm reading it mostly from my Kindle, and that's why it's taking me a little bit longer, because it's not audio, so I'm reading with my eyes, and it takes a minute. So anyways, I'm enjoying it, and I thoroughly am glad that I picked it up. But do I think it's going to be a 5-star? Not at this point. I think it may be a solid 3, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. But it is definitely interesting. Not bad at all. The next one, Miss Mia Sheridan, Unwanted. Okay, I have finally picked this up today, this morning, and started reading it, and I am on chapter 10. Yeah, so not too far in, chapter 10. And I can say, there's a gnat in here, I'm sorry guys. I can say that this is different. Okay, we are following well, at the very beginning, like the prologue, it threw me all off. I actually could read the prologue one more time, because it kind of just went over my head. But basically, we're in this small town, wood, small town, place, off the beaten path type of place. And something tragic has happened where 2 people have been unalived. Okay, 2 different people, different areas of town or whatever, that have been found gone. And in this small town, they're trying to now gather and figure out what happened to these people. We meet the main female character, which she is like a wilderness expert. She's from that town, and she knows it very well. And so she is involved in helping the FBI investigator that comes into town. I think his name is Michael Gallagher. I think that's what he said. But anyways, her name is Harper, and his name is Michael. The main, I don't think he's the main, but he's one of the main characters, and he is there to investigate. And so she's helping kind of him get through the wilderness, get through the sticks out there, because she's very well versed and known for being an expert through the terrain. And so we are, like I said, really in the beginning of this story. They have not arrested, but they have detained this person that they found. And like I said, at the beginning, I'm kind of like, what's going on? I can't remember exactly how they found the gentleman. His name is Lucas. And so they've detained him for whatever reasons. They I can't remember if they just found him out there by one of the bodies or something, but anywho, they've detained him and they've questioned him, and they've now recently let him go. But Lucas is strange. He's a strange character. He has been living out in this cabin in the woods for many years, from what it's stating, like he was kind of raised out there, and just kind of wandered into the cabin that he's living in on this person's property that is one of the people that was unalived. So anyways, we got a lot of things going on in this part of the book in the beginning, because it's trying to give you these bits and pieces. So it is interesting. I will give you that. It is interesting. And it has gotten me intrigued to want to read more. God, this daggum net, I don't know where. But anyways, hopefully this wasn't too crazy of a segment to share with you what's going on with these books. And hopefully when I come back, I'll have more, so that this won't be like crazy talk. anyways, that's where I'm at with the 3 books that I have for this vlog. Of course, you know, the 4th one I did not continue, just wasn't my speed. I'm just gonna unhaul that at some point. And I hate that because I really kind of was looking forward to Miss Terah Shelton Harris' book. That was one of her 2nd books for me to read. I mean, this was 3rd book for me to read, but I think it was the 2nd book that she wrote. It just was not, and maybe I should have tried to, you know, drudge through it, but I couldn't. It just was not speaking to me. So anyways, I'll come back when I have something else to share on these books. All right, so I have completed A Love Letter to Whiskey. I did not realize that this book has an additional part in it in the back. And so the book actually ends on page 294. There is an additional portion that the author did in 2021, because I did not realize this book was written in 2016 or published then. And so she added an additional, I don't know how many pages, but called Love Whiskey to this edition of the book. She re-released it and added this portion so that people that read this book, if they wanted to have a little bit more from the story, they felt like they needed a little bit more to go with the story, that this would be the re-release of it in 2021 with this additional amount, because this book gave her, you know, such notoriety, more than, you know, other books that she's written. So anyways, didn't know that until I got to the end and read the author's note and realized that the book was ending, but I had all these pages still left in here. So I'm officially finished with A Love Letter to Whiskey. I mean, I hate to just put ratings on books because they're so subjective as well, but I would say, you know, possibly a 3.5 to me, somewhere in there, maybe 3.75, close to a 4 star read to me. It was a very solid read. I enjoyed the storyline, but it was a lot of angsty push and pull in this story. So if you do not like that back and forth nonsense that some books do, this might not be the book for you, because it is definitely a lot of back and forth between the 2 main characters. So much so that it almost pissed me off, because I'm like, just get it together. Why don't you? You know, we're following them from young adults to adult life, and they're still back and forth with each other and putting other people in between their mess. And it just became to be a lot. It was just, you know, how many times you gonna spend the bot? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times are we gonna do this with these 2 people? And you're all between your life, you're intertwining other people in this mess for no reason, in my opinion, because, you know, bottom line, you guys are attached at the hip. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that the end result is y'all. And I honestly didn't like the way that it first started off, how they initially met, and he initially, I'm not going to give that part away, but I'll just say I don't like that very beginning scene that much. But anyways, I will probably pick up and read the Love Whiskey edition that she wrote to this book, but just not right now, because I do want to go ahead and finish. So I may read it soon, but not at this particular moment. I'm stopping right now to go ahead and get into Mia Sheridan's Unwanted. I am, you know, not far into this book, but I'm going to be tackling it to get on in deep, because I want to be able to share this video pretty soon, and I want to tell you, you know, more about it. So because of that, I want to make sure that hold on one second, I'm sorry. I want to make sure that I can get this video out, like I said, pretty soon. So so far it is interesting. I'm gonna leave it at that right now because I feel like I need to get a little farther into it, at least 50% in, to give you some more meat and potatoes about what's going on here. It's intriguing, but it is not enough to where I'm like, oh yeah, I need to express. Okay, so I'm a little bit further along, not quite at the halfway point in Mia Sheridan's Unwanted. So I have a better grasp now, I will say, on this story, because I don't know what I was telling you guys before, but basically it reads like I won't say a movie that you watch where the person is stranded or left in the woods, a teenager, actually, a child. Somehow this gentleman that I was kind of the main male character, Lucas, is someone that was left in the woods somehow. We don't kind of know that backstory yet, but he was left there as a child and basically grew up in the woods, like by wolves, and that's who we are following. And they're going backwards and telling you about things that happened to him in like certain chapters. It keeps going back and forth into the present day to what happened to him in the past. And I'm thinking there's some kind of connection going to come in from the main female character, Harper, that is the wilderness expert, because somehow he finds her parents that are deceased. He at some point in his life had ran into or found their vehicle where they ran off the road or whatever, and he came along, I guess, and saw them there, and has been, knowing where they were, or that this accident and situation was there for many years. And how that comes about is that she sees a locket that she knows. Okay, so sorry about that. I just have a better grasp of where the story is going from what I was originally, like my headspace on what I was, reading. It was not connecting, but now it's connecting a lot better. The story is interesting. Like I said, he somehow locates, when he's younger, her parents, deceased in this car, and has a locket from that incident, or from finding it. And she notices the locket is familiar to her because they never found her parents', I guess, body, never located what happened to them. And so now we fast forward back to the now times, and she's able to go to where their final resting place is, see, their car, and see, this is what happened to them. So this, of course, deals with her dealing with that situation, because all these years she has not really known and not really had a place to grieve for her parents. Okay, so interesting story, to say the least. I try not to give you guys spoilers of the story, but I felt like when I was telling you about this, I wasn't giving you enough to where you understood where this story was coming from and where it was going. So at least we have like a good premise, and you understand what's being told. And to me, I think I could really get into. So I can really, identify and see where the story is going. Like I said, much more clearly. And it's just interesting to see or to hear how she is coming into his world, and his world is so like different from what normal people live day to day, because he is strictly been living in this cabin off in the backwoods, and been raised basically by wolves. And he's like feels like he's part human, part man. Like he has memories of when he was younger, and he calls, I believe this would be considered his mother, Baka, and he refers to her quite frequently in his memories going back. But obviously something happened And so we don't get that just yet about what all happened with him to bring him out into the woods to be raised by wolves and everything. So he's just not used to normalized life. I mean, down to like the food we eat, he has to hunt and kill, and like clothes, he's given the bare minimum. And I'm leaving out certain parts so that you will have that for your own self to read and figure out. But it is just interesting the way they're telling the story and how she is coming into, like I said, his world and bringing in things that some of it Hebrew kind of remembers, but a lot of it he doesn't, or he's never heard of, and how he is drawn to her, how they're playing out the storyline with how he is connecting to her mentally and physically, and he's never had this kind of interaction with someone, so he is very much attracted to her, but he doesn't know that that's what that is. But his primal instinct is like, in the book, he's like the way she smells and the way she looks, the curve of her body, how it's different from his, and just the constant attraction, and him talking to himself in his head about, how he would love to, mate with her, and all this stuff. So anyways, it's just very interesting the way that they she has wrote these characters in this book. And so it's interesting, and I am enjoying the ride. I am enjoying just something different, something fresh, something new. Sometimes you need that, and not to have that same storyline all the time. So I like it. And I will come back on once I am finished. Like I think I said that before, but I feel like I'm about halfway, or to the halfway point, close enough. And so once I finish this, hopefully in the next few days, I'll wrap this up, and that'll be it. All right, see you soon. All right, so I have finished all 3 books, and the final one is Mia Sheridan's, what is this? Unwanted, okay? This first of the 2-book series, or 2 books so far. So I can say this ended up to be a good read. It was probably, I would say, in stars, if I did that, I would say maybe 3.5 stars to me. I like the premise, like I was telling you guys already about it, how it flowed. It seems like it's a movie, like I said, that you would watch with someone out in the wilderness, and that is how they grew up from a kid, okay, and being introduced back into society in the real world, so to speak. But basically having to grow up as a man in the woods with no help, pretty much just kind of surviving with the help of animals and trees and things like that, which is crazy. But it's a different type of, reality in written word. But how the author connected the main female character, which is, I hate what the name's, Harper, to the story, how she brought it together at the end. Of course, it was done really well. I think she did a great job in wrapping the story up, and giving you a complete ending, so that you would not feel like you necessarily had to. I think these are like not, they're interconnected, but not so that you have to, like, you're not on a cliffhanger. She didn't leave you hanging. This you could read as a standalone and be good with it and not go to the second book at all. So like, I don't have to go right in or feel like I'm pressured to go right in to find out what's next on the next book, which is Unnatural, I think. So I'm going to probably, I may pick it up at some point, but I don't have to pick it up right now. So I do like the read. Mia Sheridan, she seems to write, kind of different. I don't hear a lot of people talking about her. So I wanted to do these vlogs on books that I don't hear other people talking about. So hopefully you get a perspective of a book that everybody's not already sharing. So I don't think I've heard anybody talk about this book, but it's been out for a minute. And the second one came out, I think, last year or something. So anyways, I think it was a good read. If you are interested in a romance that it's not heavy on the romance, she does bring it together with a little bit of spice, but not too much, not overly done at all. You can totally skip the spice if you are not a spice girl. But I thought she wrapped it up very well. I enjoyed the book, enjoyed the read. It took a minute because it's a thickums, but it was well worth it. I'm glad I got a chance to see what it was all about, because I really did not. I went in totally blind, didn't know anything. So if you are interested in this read and would like to pick it up, now you know a little bit about it. And hopefully I didn't spoil it for you, because I don't want to spoil it for you. Excuse my hair. This is my real stuff. Y'all sometimes get to see me in between getting my hair done. So I'm going to get my hair done tonight and when I get off work. And so you're getting to see my little mess of a head before I go with my stuff all over the place. But anyways, you know, it's real life. And you get to see me in a different part of the house, because I think sometimes you just need to see a different area. And sorry, the background is what it is, because this is the kitchen and we live and we do real stuff, cooking and all that stuff in the kitchen. And this is first thing in the morning. So in reality, I get up sometimes to my kitchen not looking like I left it, because I have kids. Not kids, I have two grown sons that stay with me. One is 17, about to be 18, in his last year in high school, and that's the culprit. He comes down here in the middle of the night in my kitchen, messing it up after I done cleaned it up, and then I have to clean it up again. So anywho, thank God for working from home. But that's it. I'm gonna leave this where it is. Hopefully you enjoyed this vlog, and we'll see what I pick for the next 3 books. I'm enjoying this. I don't know if you are, but I'm enjoying this. I know it's kind of long-winded, but I like to kind of carry you guys around with me a little bit while I read through a few books that I don't see out there. And of course, if you stayed with me all this time through this video, please like, subscribe, do all the things if this is your jam. If it is not your jam and I am not your hype, totally cool. Don't worry about it. Thanks for hanging out with me for the time that you did. Appreciate you, and I will see you guys on the next one.